The Satanists are taking their masks off. I've been noticing a lot of slips lately, but we already know how this works.
AI took us over and the sky was scorched. Believe it or not, some people really believe that we're living in an artificial projection and that AI really did take us over.
Chaos and crowds have descended on sites in Ghana, where self-proclaimed prophet Ebo Noah
Welcome to the show. This is QUANTUMCAKE. Thanks for tuning in. We got another banger. I found the most creepiest, most disturbing TikToks in the darkest corners of the web. Make sure to smash the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. And let's enjoy the show. Roll the clip.
Breaking news, Israelis are leaving Israel right now. Boats are carrying civilians from Israel to the island of Cyprus. These boats are carrying 2,000 at a time, and around 20 right now are in service. They're using the port city of Haifa, which has been under attack by Iranian missiles for the past 4 days. And if you're wondering why they're not simply leaving by airplane, that is because Israel has just enacted a law saying that Israeli civilians are forbidden from leaving Israel as they prepare for a military mobilization of their 10 million population. But if you're not an Israeli citizen, aka a tourist or any diplomat, you're able to leave. Israel is wanting to trap everyone in the country. Very weird to trap everyone in a country of an active war zone, showing that they might be ready for a prolonged conflict with Iran, or maybe they want the casualty counts to be a little high for sympathy. But the matter of the fact is, these Israelis who hold this land so dear are so quick to leave it to a little island off the coast whenever the going gets tough. Make sure to follow me for the newest updates on the conflict and let me know, is Cyprus the new promised land?
Beginning tonight at 2 a.m., Chicago is going to see the largest military presence in the entire history of Chicago. Beginning tonight at 2 a.m., the critters will be crawling their way through Little Village, and they will be wreaking havoc door to door, dragging people out of their homes and placing them into custody to get them ready for processing and deportation. So I'm letting the public know right now. Prepare. Get ready for a civilian showdown. I'm done calling it a music festival. This is a civilian showdown. We all need to participate in protecting and defending the lives of innocent people. This is what I have been working so hard to protect and prepare people for. Unfortunately, we are at a point now where the time has come to do everything in our power, and this is the steps we have to take. If you have kids, please get them out of Little Village. If you have pets, please get them out of Little Village and all the surrounding areas and neighborhoods within Little Village. Humboldt Park, you are at risk. Little Village, you are at risk. Boys Town, you are at risk. Internal Services and all of my intelligence is asking you to prepare for a civil showdown, because what is happening now is a complete overreach of the United States government. The critters have already began mobilizing in Chicago, and they've been doing this for quite some time now. If you see a drone, you are asked to destroy it. Plain and simple. Destroy it. And if you are met with deadly force, I'm telling you right now, do everything in your power to protect your life. And don't take it for granted. Take your phone. Make sure your phone is fully charged before you get out of your house. Take more than one person with you. If you plan to go outside and leave your home to run errands, go in groups. Go in large groups. Large groups. Bring more than one person with you. Do not go out of your house by yourself. And if you are a street vendor in Little Village, you are being asked to remain in your home. Don't go to public parks. I love you all. Stay safe out there.
Yeah, you thought it was Photoshop. Thought it was Photoshop. Y'all want me to be ugly and insecure so bad, but then you would be out of work.
We don't want you to be ugly and insecure. This is what a lot of people remember, bro, about Lil' Kim. This is what Hollywood does to you. Destroy your natural God-given beauty. See, this is when it started to roll down, you feel me? And then bam!
Why can't people just accept themselves the way they are, man? Is he reaching? What y'all think?
Let me tell you something. Nicki Minaj losing all her fans right now. Nicki Minaj spent 21 years building her fan base just to lose it all in 1 week. I don't know who sold Nicki a bad bag of pink dope, but they done laced her goddamn shit, cause she is mentally gone. She gagging all her barbs right now. They pulling they pink wigs out and they punching the goddamn air right now about some Nicki Minaj. Out of nowhere, Nicki Minaj had transformed into MAGA Minaj. She is now Trump's biggest cheerleader. Check this shit out.
Our president shows that. He's been through every single thing a person could be through publicly. Having to constantly be lied on. It's not really that funny. Until you are in that person's shoes that's being lied on, you'll never understand what it feels like. That person is a human being. They have a family who has to read those lies. And that's not, and it's just not fair. But this administration is full of people with heart and soul. And they make me proud of them. Our vice president, he makes me, well, I love both of them, but they're both powerful men, smart, strong, all of that, but both of them have a very uncanny ability to be someone that you relate to. I can relate to them. When I hear them speak, I know that they're one of us.
Well, while she was doped up on that pink Coca-Cola speaking for Charlie Kirk, while he was alive, he was speaking against Nicki Minaj, and she was too high to see it. Check this shit out.
Nicki Minaj, Cardi B.
Okay, Nicki Minaj is causing dads to leave the home.
Hold on a second. I don't think that's a good role model for 18-year-old black girls. I don't think that songs that are talking about like glorifying wet female genitalia is exactly, I don't know which one wrote that song. Which one was it?
I think it was Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But by the way, the role models of the 1940s and 50s for black America were
Vince Zampella, the founder of Call of Duty, died in a car accident. Eerily, someone had depicted his death in a video game a year earlier. The accident occurred on the Angeles Crest Highway, a dangerous mountain road north of Los Angeles known for its high-speed driving. The vehicle lost control, veered off the road, and crashed into a concrete barrier before catching fire. Vince and another passenger in the car both perished in the accident. Even more chilling is that a year earlier, a player saw a scene in a video game that was almost identical. A car speeding and rolling down a winding mountain road, crashing into a guardrail. Even the color and model of the car were the same as the supercar involved in the accident. The scene was like a reenactment of reality. Some began to question, was this just a coincidence in the game, or was it a premonition? Do you think all of this is just a coincidence? Or is there a deeper warning hidden behind this dark coincidence between the game and reality?
AI took us over and the sky was scorched. Believe it or not, some people really believe that we're living in an artificial projection and that AI really did take us over, which, looking at the fashion industry right now, that could be true. The holographic universe theory states that our three-dimensional universe is a two-dimensional projection on a cosmic scale. Basically, we're living in a massive cosmic hologram, and everything we perceive as being 3D is really just an illusion. What's weird is that there might be some truth to this. Now, every planet gives off a frequency, a vibration, and a sound. We know there are connections between objects in the cosmos, and that it gives our reality stability, like the push and pull between particles. That's not weird. But what if those elements of our solar system actually operate like transmission towers that keep our reality the way it is, like projection points in a matrix? If we're talking about being stuck in a matrix time warp, we can go even further. Some believe Saturn is giving off these frequencies that are being transmitted to objects like the moon and the earth, and that creates some type of projection. Well, in mythology, Saturn is the god of time, and another name for Kronos, so maybe time really is different now. The scientist Stephen Hawking once warned that when we find the God particle, it could one day be responsible for the destruction of the entire universe, and Hawking was not the only scientist who thought so. Their theory was that the Higgs boson is the precise mass needed to keep the universe on the brink of instability, but its delicate state will eventually collapse, leaving the universe unstable. In fact, if this God particle were real, it could usher in a quantum doomsday. On July 4th, 2012, the God particle, also known as the Higgs boson, was found. What if the discovery of this particle indeed destroyed the universe as we know it, or at the very least changed it? Did you know that the most advanced calendar of the ancient world was the Maya calendar? This calendar only recorded up until December 21st, 2012, the same year the God particle was found. What if?
Remember, that's the house in his dream.
Huh? Yeah.
Think you got one in your neighborhood?
Please enter destination.
And that's the same number he's seen in his dream.
1919 Mid-world.
What did Moses do? He went to Mount Sinai to get the Ten Commandments. Mount Sinai, spelled S-I-N-A-I. The first three letters, sin, S-I-N, sin. Mount Sinai was taken from the lunar god, the lunar Mesopotamian god, Sin, which is the moon, during the Babylonian exile in 6th century BCE. So they also call Mount Sinai Mount Horeb. Mount Horeb in Arabic means hot or heat. So all that's telling you is that Moses went up on a mountain to get energy from the sun during the zenith, which is 12 o'clock during his highest point in the sky. The Bible is based off astrology. How else do I crush you down?
I miss the old young Pharaoh, man. We need more of him nowadays, you know what I'm saying? What do y'all think?
So CERN and cracked that portal, man. Y'all know there's shit that we can't see between these two eyes, right? What y'all gonna say, that's some fireworks, nigga? What is that? That look like a fucking entity. Then think about when we was playing Minecraft, you had games like the Nether portal. They was already telling us like shit can spawn through portals. Like, you think it ain't all type of entities flying through that bitch?
Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from Islam. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen.
Imagine backing up your brain without burning off your head. It is an exciting new MRI tech that will let us charge every single person on Earth a monthly data storage fee to keep a brain copy. It's being safety tested right now on human volunteers.
Let me just say, this one is important, or it seems important. So doctors are wondering about a mutating flu strain, and they say this flu strain is spreading faster in 2025 than it has ever spread in any other year. Health experts are saying that the influenza mutation is behaving way differently than past years. But don't they always say this? I really can't recall a year where they didn't say there's been a mutation or this one is worse than last year. Am I tripping? They said the US and Europe is already having high surges and patients coming in with the flu, y'all. They said this time around, it's a little earlier though. And I don't know where they heard this from, but they said usually if you get the flu around flu season, you only get it one time. But now they're saying people are getting sick twice, and the second time is worse than the first. That don't sound normal to me. Sound normal to you? Now they did say that this variant hasn't been more deadly than others, but it's spread way quicker. It's way more potent. So I'm just reporting on the news that they're reporting to us. So if you feel sick or anything, or you've been under the weather the past week or so, you probably had this flu or whatever.
I'm not watching this shit. No, I'm not fucking watching this. What the fuck? These ain't goddamn zombies. So apparently these zombies come back because they got unfinished business. They got brains. They smart. They smart as shit. We talking about a World War Z zombie and a clicker mixed together. This, what the fuck is we talking about? I'm not watching this. Fuck no. Fuck no. We finally get a zombie movie that's scary. We finally get a different type of zombie. These ain't the same motherfucking zombies that we usually see on a typical day. They not dumb, they not stupid, and they come back to life for a fucking reason. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna cap. She looking for her husband. That nigga gone. Cap. If you think he alive, cap. All cap. He's gone. This shit about to be badass. Okay? But I'm scared to watch it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared to watch this shit because I think I'm gonna have nightmares. I ain't a bitch or nothing like that. So if you say anything stupid in the comments, I promise you, you're wrong. Y'all need to go watch this fucking trailer. Come back and let me know how y'all feel about this shit. Cause this shit about to be dope. Have a nice Christmas. The movie comes out January 2nd.
Video has been released from Skywatcher, the group who's out there calling out to these entities, these orbs, these dark forces, and they're manifesting themselves as orbs of light. These people think they're UFOs. So we'll look at this recent video. This is from Vetted's YouTube channel, but again, it's footage from this organization who calls themselves Skywatch, who on their website, they don't really say that they're using their mind or trying to manifest these things. At least I couldn't find it, but that is what they're doing. He explains it a little more in this video. We'll watch the footage and his explanation about that's exactly what they're doing. And what they're manifesting is dark spiritual forces, not crafts from another planet.
And Vino, that's really picking up. There it is.
Now, there's this whole idea essentially that, you're using your mind to summon orbs, right? Or whatever, UFOs, not really sure. There's still a lot of controversy, or maybe not controversy, but just discussion over what exactly is revealing itself when you use your mind to sort of invite, them in or out. And that's what my whole documentary is about. It's about following people who claim to have this ability. Carl was one of them amongst many other people that...
And I was too. I just recently posted my testimony on this channel about how I used to have this ability too. They would just summon themselves. They started to appear around me, and then I could feel their presence. I knew when they'd show up. It was around 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning. Every single time they looked exactly like these orbs that in that video, and we'll look at more of that video here in a moment. And I had that same ability when I was practicing the occult, not living for God at all. Then when I got saved and Jesus Christ saved me, these orbs stopped appearing. These manifestations stopped happening. Feeling their presence out in the sky and going and looking and seeing them stopped happening when I gave my life to Jesus Christ. That's no coincidence.
I filmed with, unfortunately, I didn't get to film with Mike Batista in person, but I was happy to get an interview with him. And it's a fascinating topic and subject. What I like about psionics is it's something you can go try yourself. Right?
Don't do it.
People talk about a crash retrieval program or UFOs crashes. You can't really go check that stuff out. But this is something you can literally walk in your backyard and try for yourself.
Don't try.
Right? So if you think just go try it. You think it's something you want to get into? Get into it.
You don't want to get into it.
At bare minimum, you're going to have a good time with friends, just hanging out, talking, chatting. The discussions are great. And you may see something, during the filming of the documentary that I made. I saw some things I couldn't explain, and we explore that in the film, right? And don't forget, I'm going to be revealing the poster here in just a second, but I have one more clip that I want to show you where Mike Batista went on the Good Trouble show and talked a little bit more about another sighting with footage of some things that's going on.
Okay, walk us through. So we'll look at this. And again, these things look exactly like and act the same exact way that they did when I used to see these things. And at the bare minimum, you're not going to have fun in doing that. What at the bare minimum and at the maximum is happening, is you're going out, and I would hope people have enough common sense to think, what do you think is happening when you go outside, stare up into the sky, and invite something to manifest itself? What is the more likely scenario? That some sort of spiritual entity out in the universe, which, out in the sky, actually in the second heavens, which the Bible tells us, there's spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places, principalities and powers. We're not wrestling against flesh and blood, metal crafts from another planet and gray aliens. What's manifesting itself is a dark spiritual force. What's more likely, that you go out and ask these things to appear and some spiritual manifestation starts to show itself? Satan masquerades as an angel of light. He'll go against it. He walks around prowling the earth, looking for someone to devour. Is he now manifesting himself when people go out and say, whatever's out there, show yourself? Or what's the other option? That some evolved being on another planet cares at all about human beings going out and saying, show yourself, and can somehow read your mind, and is now showing themselves. They flew all the way here and, went through space all the way here with their metal craft to come and just show themselves in the sky and elude you to the truth, to think there's something more out there. The Bible doesn't explain it. Why didn't God mention that? The Bible must not be true, because that's what every belief does. That's how everybody's belief goes, the direction it goes when you start to think that these things are from another planet.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Leak this footage of the interior of a UFO. Now y'all look at this. Now allegedly this UFO was hidden inside Area 51 for over 40 years. And if you look at the interior of this UFO, this looks like something we cannot understand. And once you go inside, I heard it could be as big as a football stadium.
God and the devil are the same exact entity, and I'm going to show you why. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. Who's talking here? I, the Lord, do all these things. It doesn't say I, Satan, I, the devil. This is God talking. He says, I, the Lord, do all these things. What things? Create evil. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So who's really doing all the killing in the Bible? Is it God or is it the devil? Because God says, there's no God with me. He says, I kill, and I make alive. The Lord killeth. The Lord killeth. Not the devil, not Satan. It says, the Lord killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. He even makes the poor and he makes rich.
The entire United States is now being warned with winter weather alerts, stating that we have winter weather that is here to stay. We are seeing freezing rain and freezing conditions in southeast Texas. We're also seeing another atmospheric river over here in the Pacific Northwest. We got snow over on the East Coast and much of the tri-state area. But I want to bring you these alerts, explain what's happening, how we are experiencing closures, some cities are preparing to evacuate, and much more. So, if you think the weather is perfectly fine where you're living, well, it may change very soon. And all because it's a La Nina winter. I'll explain more on that in just a moment. But here's the thing. The weather can change in an instant. And this can go from nice weather to deadly weather in a hurry. Look at this right here. It says La Nina likely for next month, the NOAA says. Here's what it means for winter weather. I want to read a little of this to you. It says this year's La Nina, which officially arrived on the scene in October, is favored to last most of the 2025-2026 winter before dissipating sometime early next year. It says in the meantime, the climate pattern continues to influence the type of weather we'll see this winter. Typically, La Nina keeps weather dry and warmer in the southern half of the country, making drought conditions worse in Southern California and the Southwest. On the other hand, the Pacific Northwest and the Ohio Valley tend to see more precipitation during a La Nina winter. Okay, look what's coming, okay? Look at that picture, okay? This one right here, look at this. Okay, look how it's coming across. This is Washington State over here. It's coming down and up. That's the movement, okay? It's important because watch this right here.
Rad radar system. A winter storm is brewing for this weekend, which will spread snow to millions along the I-95 corridor from D.C. to Boston. That storm kicked off out west in Montana and is pushing into the central U.S. today before it heads into the northeast tomorrow morning.
Do you see how that kind of weather is going through? Okay, that's a polar vortex. That started yesterday. Okay, that started last night in Washington. Okay? And that's moving through the Midwest, okay, and work its way over to the East Coast.
Time to get warm, y'all. Get prepared. Don't panic. Just get prepared.
This isn't good. AI is getting too real. Now imagine AI in 5 years from now.
In the future, running is illegal for poor people. So this kid gets arrested by his phone, and then a drone shows up, and it says you're under arrest for running. Running, it's only safe for rich people. Throws handcuffs at him, tells him to put it on. He tries to argue, but he's not going to win, because it's just a robot. And this is like the near future, guys. I swear this is the near future. Watch what's going to happen. See, it scans his face, he tries to argue, and it says, no, you're going to get tased if you don't put the handcuffs on and come with me. He brings him to the jail, throws him in the jail, and the jail screen shows up and basically gives him options for prison activities. But what's really crazy is it gives him options for lawyers. And the top lawyer is $10,000. Who's got $10,000 thrown around? So he goes to the free one. He's like, I just got to go with the free public defender. Now, this is where it's wild. They're going to give him 45 to 75 or 45 to 47 years if he doesn't plead out, basically, for 6 to 9 years. That's crazy. And this is just a short on Netflix. You should check it out. Really, really interesting phenomenon.
We really used to watch our parents engage in shenanigans every Sunday. Like all of it, all the falling out, the speaking in tongues, the blah, 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 all of that other stuff. Yeah, it's nonsense. You know how I know it's nonsense? Because they could stop. They could stop at any given point in time. Think about this. Your folks could be slain in the spirit on the floor, speaking in tongues, and let you start acting up. Yo, our parents was really crazy. Because they on the floor, and she go from to sit down. It's fake, bro. It's performative. It's just them getting together. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's really just a social call under the guise that, like, you got this crazy morality that you and everybody else in the church all got that the rest of the world, they don't have. And I know a bunch of y'all gonna get mad at me, but answer me this. If a room full of people is slain in the spirit and then somebody pulls the fire alarm, what y'all think finna happen? Oh, all right.
It took me 28 years to realize Neo isn't the one in the Matrix.
What if I told you the real one was actually Agent Smith? Watch The Matrix with this theory in mind and it becomes an entirely different experience.
I'm not the one. Sorry, kid.
If you remember, the prophecy of the Matrix says the one must be born inside the Matrix, be able to change it as they see fit, and finally destroy it to free humanity. That was never referring to Neo. Neo was never born in the Matrix. He was literally grown in a pod by the machines. Smith, on the other hand, has been there since the beginning. Even calls the Oracle Mom.
You would know, Mom.
And after Neo kills him in the first movie, he comes back saying,
because of you, I've changed. I'm unplugged. A new man.
That's literally his rebirth in the Matrix. Second, Neo only bends the rules in the Matrix, but he never changes the Matrix itself. Agent Smith does.
You like what I've done with the place?
And in the end, when Neo is plugged into the Matrix and Smith assimilates Neo, Smith's code connects directly to the source, reloading the Matrix and ending the war. So technically, Smith's code, not Neo's, fulfills the prophecy.
It's like we're all NPCs, and then we end up turning into Agent Smiths, only to discover ourselves and then turning into Neo. The Trinity, son.
I call it fear-mongering, but at the same time, think about it.
You know, they don't have us no more like they used to have us. Deep, our frequency low. So now that we're up, they can't control us no more. But they still got to control something and somebody. I'm talking about these fallen entities. See, their spirits are stuck on 3D Earth. So they have to control something, somebody. They have to, you know, do what they got to do. It's not even fear-mongering. It's them telling all those who's going to be left behind on 3D Earth what is going to happen to y'all. That's all they telling you. And the shame? Oh, they don't have no shame. Y'all should already know that by now.
Is it even possible to prove that you're not AI through a video? Like, if you're accused of being AI, how would you even prove that you're not? What would you even accept that's worthy of being sufficient proof? There's really no evidence you can even show. You could show old pictures of yourself, but like AI can easily make an old photo of you. You can show your Instagram or Facebook showing old posts or old pictures, but like you can also create that stuff with AI. You could show old baby pictures of yourself, but like AI is also capable of doing that. You could show a video of you doing literally anything. I could show you a video of me down at the skate park, but you could easily just say that I made that with AI. I could show you a birth certificate, but like also AI. Doesn't matter what you show someone because they can just call it AI. And they have the right to do that. But seriously, I need to know, like, what would you even accept as sufficient evidence? I could show a picture or a video of my house or me walking down the street, but this AI. There is no way of knowing if a person is AI. And the people that are out here calling me the controlled opposition, I'm not. And I'm sorry, I actually have no way of proving that I'm not. All I can tell you is to use your discernment.
Y'all. Okay, so I've been hearing this everywhere that there's supposed to be this flood that ends the world, right? Wrong. I'm gonna tell you why this flood is actually the best thing that will ever happen to us and why it's not a real flood. Okay, so there's a lot of rumors that there's going to be this tidal wave in 2026 that's going to end the Earth, and then we're gonna become a 5D new Earth. There's been many books about it. Now this would lead to an apocalypse, but what does apocalypse actually mean? It means to uncover or reveal. A truth is coming. A wave of energy is coming. Flood actually meant flow. A flow of energy is overtaking us, just like the stories in the Bible like Noah's Ark. I actually don't think it was an actual flood, and stick with me why. A flood represents overwhelm. It is when accumulated forces can no longer be contained. Symbolically, this is the unconscious rising. This is emotions suppressed too long, truths ignored too long, systems that have been corrupted. A psychic pressure release. Something is about to be corrected through a saturation of energy or waves. Water symbolizes emotion, memory, the unconscious, life force, the divine feminine. A tidal wave has happened when this field is denied, blocked, or over-controlled for too long. The floodgates open. 2026, this is happening. The world ain't ending. The world is just beginning. This 5D is a perspective of consciousness. I was talking about this with my friend Kelly. And the boat of animals represents our instincts, our survival. We are learning to integrate our body wisdom with our mind. We're learning more about these magical abilities we have, where we are sensing reality versus logically sensing reality. Humans are going to have literal magic powers. Going to be more intuitive, going to be more connected with their body and emotion and their sensory perceptions. They realize that reality is moldable and alive. Feeling will no longer be suppressed. And what does our feeling hold? Our magic. The new Earth, people are already living in it. It is simply a perspective of consciousness, where you're not living in survival or a victim, where you're living in a co-creative relationship with reality, that some people are already there. And one day when you do enough work on yourself and your limiting beliefs, you don't have to heal forever. But when you realize and wake up to who the F you are and the wholeness and the magic of you, you'll wake up and all of a sudden reality is going to be shimmering. You're in 5D, bitch. A flood does not destroy what is alive. It is not destroying Earth. It is dissolving what is no longer adaptive, the energies, the survival energies, the holding in emotion and trauma and trying to be what everyone else wants us to be. Think about it. The main narrative is that the world is ending and there's going to be this huge flood. When I hear the main narrative that most people say, I usually go in the opposite direction. How can we take our power back? How do we not live in fear? The new Earth is a river we have to jump into and it will catch us. It's a choice, a perspective flip. you want to learn about magic, comment magic.
Chaos and crowds have descended on sites in Ghana where self-proclaimed prophet Ebo Noah, also known as Ebo Noah or Ebo Jesus, has built 8 large wooden arks to supposedly save believers from a massive global flood he claims will begin tomorrow, December 25th, 2025, Christmas Day, and last 3 to 4 years. Viral videos circulating show thousands of Ghanaians, including families with belongings, rushing to the locations, desperately trying to secure spots on the arks ahead of the predicted apocalypse. Reports describe people arriving from across Africa, drawn by the prophet's warnings of relentless rain submerging the world, echoing the biblical Noah story. Ebo Noah insists God commanded him to construct the vessels. Some claim each holds thousands, with exaggerated figures up to millions in wild online versions. Religious critics highlight the clear contradiction with Genesis 9:11-17, where God vows never again to destroy the earth by flood, sealed by the rainbow. Scientists and meteorologists confirm no evidence of any impending global deluge.
It's looking like it's not looking so good for Mr. Noah over here. What do y'all think? Damn.
This is the apocalypse of Adam. The Catholic Church was so scared of this book, they tried to burn it out of existence. They were successful for 1500 years until a copy was found in Egypt by a treasure hunter. In this book, everything is reversed. The God of the Bible is evil and the tree of knowledge is good. The serpent is the hero of the story, looking to enlighten and liberate Adam and Eve. Brilliant psychologist Carl Jung wrote, "The serpent shows the way to the hidden things." The serpent is the Morpheus archetype from the Matrix, offering Adam and Eve the red pill, the pill of knowledge, while the God of the Bible offers the blue pill of ignorance and slavery. The serpent teaches Adam and Eve of the eternal God in the realm of light, and that Adam and Eve are higher than the evil gods of the garden. The serpent goes on to teach them that the gods of the Bible have blinded their intelligence and seek to fear them into slavery forever. This is exactly why the tree of knowledge is outlawed. It is critical thinking that reveals the God of the Bible to be evil, and it is knowledge alone that will save us.
They attack our temples. Now they dare to desecrate Zeus's image.
We could reach out to them.
An accommodation could be made. A truce.
No!
I created them, and they reward my love with defiance. There will be no truce. Finally, some rage from you. How long has it been? How long, brother, since you've seen my face? Hades. Endless years I've watched from the underworld and saw your wrath tempered with love. You created them for one reason, so their prayers would fuel our immortality. But you love them too well. They've grown strong. And now I am forced to rise because we are all threatened. What do you want, brother? Let me loose upon them. They will pray again. And you will bathe in their awe and fear. And we will grow strong again. He belongs in the underworld, not here. You do not tell me where I belong. You say it is love that feeds us. But you depend on their love. I've only learned to live on their fear, their pain. Zeus, our brother speaks the truth. Hear him. Go. Do what you will.
Father, we need the mortals.
No, Apollo. Hades is right. Their insolence has a price. Like children, they need to be reminded of the order of things. Set an example, brother. Turn them on each other. And back into our arms.
Now you know.
And so it is.
I think the sun is trying to warn us, y'all. I think the sun is trying to warn us. And the reason why I say this is because there is a movie called The Great Flood on Netflix, which it takes place in Japan. And it shows a great flood that's going to be taking place in Japan due to an asteroid that's coming to hit Earth. Kind of like similar to what happened with 3i Atlas, right? Now, eerily enough, the sun is we're in a corona hole right now, and this is the corona hole, and the sun is mirroring like what looks like Japan on the map, y'all. Look at this. That's pretty uncanny. And again, I don't believe in coincidences. So is the sun trying to warn us? Now I want you to check out this movie that Netflix just put out on the 19th that has some things that are mirroring our reality right now, y'all. It's very interesting. They talk about the asteroid collision right over here, and she asks, are all humans going to die? And then he says the human race will end as we know it today. Look at this. And all the water's coming up under the ground right now, right? Washington, Oregon. What's happening in California right now?
이제 너한테는 자인이만 있는 거야.
And they talk about how a new human race will emerge. Like this is like the Noah day, you know what I'm saying? The Noah event. And it's crazy because that guy's building that ark in Africa, right? So they're talking about experiment. Look, a new human race will return to Earth. So something is birthing from all of this destruction as well. He said it's your last day with your son. He says we all know it. Look at that, y'all. What do you do in the end? So what are the odds that Netflix drops a movie about a great flood that takes place in Japan, and around the same time the sun produces a corona hole of what appears to be Japan? Like, what are the odds of that, y'all? I don't know about y'all, but I think the sun is giving us a warning, y'all. There has been a lot of activity that has been happening on the underground of Japan, just in the Pacific Ring alone, y'all. But what do you guys think about this? Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace and...
Are you really sure that heaven is some kind of cosmic reward for good behavior and hell is an eternal torture chamber for bad? Well, the way that mainstream Christians try to answer this is by saying that, oh, well, God gradually revealed truth to humanity over time in stages. In the Old Testament, death is pretty much the end of the story. Eternal torture in hell just is not in the Old Testament. See, over the centuries, religious institutions started to realize something pretty useful. There's no better way to control a population than by dangling heaven as a prize and waving around hell as a punishment. Now, heaven and hell, they're the ultimate carrot and stick. Want eternal bliss? Obey. Want to avoid eternal torture? Never disobey. The famous psychologist Carl Jung talked about the importance of connecting to and integrating our higher self, essentially uniting the conscious and unconscious parts of our being, or else we suffer. Meanwhile, study after study show that strong social connections and a sense of belonging are the biggest factors in happiness and health. Jung was saying you need to connect to even your darkest, your hellish parts. We have to face our inner darkness, our personal hell, in order to reach our highest potential, heaven. It's a journey inward, not upward. That's how you rise.
What the fuck do you mean the sun is disappearing in 2027? Holy fucking shit! So in 2027, the sun will disappear for over 6 minutes because we'll be experiencing the longest solar eclipse of the century. It is quite literally a once-in-a-lifetime event where the moon will cover the sun for over 6 entire minutes, causing the entire world to go dark. If you don't realize how insane that is, the solar eclipse we had this year only lasted for a minute. And not only that, but the next time it'll happen for this long is in the 22nd century, which means that you will quite literally never experience this event for this long ever again. And you already have people on Kalshi debating on exactly when this event will happen, with August 2nd being at the winning percentage. So ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars, because August 2nd is an event you don't want to miss.
We praise Jesus around here. Oh, so you're gonna help us with like charity and meals and help the society? Oh, no. You see this guy? We don't want to help anyone. No thanks. This is just a front to control all the Christians with our ideals. Jesus helped people. He helped the poor and the needy. Oh, no, that's not the plan. We're using Jesus as a front, make all the Christians think we're for them so they support our legislation and extort all of you for your money and your energy and enslave you. Are you clocking it? Ah! That's what the cool people say, apparently. What the fuck? Oh, sorry, you didn't know? That's what religion is about too. Jesus has like a mass following here on earth. If we can utilize that, we can control most of the population because they think we are in with them. So everything we do is perfect because we're for Jesus. We're for the church. Religion. Yeah, woo! I feel a little bit lied to. But wait, government's not supposed to be with church. Church and state, isn't that a thing? Oh, no, not anymore. We are proud Christians. Oh, Jesus. Praise be! Now give me all of your tax money and we're gonna go cut all the programs, all right? Jesus would want this.
The Satanists are taking their masks off. I've been noticing a lot of slips lately, but we already know how this works. They tell you what they're doing on purpose. That's how they believe they bypass karmic retribution. It's all predictive programming. They know people don't buy into the mainstream media anymore. So now everyone's getting their truth from Nick, Tucker, Candace. Different script, but the same programming. They just switch the characters, but not the agenda. They give you little truths here and there to keep you hooked, while distracting you from what's actually happening in the world. You don't become trending on mainstream platforms by accident. Anytime you reach a certain level of success or fame, you're on their radar, and you're expected to make some kind of deal. If these people were actually anti-establishment like they claim, they wouldn't be having platforms. And about the whole noticing, they want you to notice. That's how they push their censorship laws. So while you're still picking a side, you never realize you never actually left the stage.
If people don't want to fuck your characters, then the odds are your characters aren't that interesting. That's just the way it is. And you could say, oh, well, that's a bad way to look at it. That's weird. That's like, do you really think that does every video game have to have fuckable characters? No, they don't have to, but it sure helps. Look at Overwatch. Really, look at Overwatch. It sure fucking helps. I'll tell you that. Absolutely.
Tell me your secrets. I promise not to tell.
Now, I'm late on this shit, bro, but I guarantee you her manager made her wear this shit, bro, to exploit her. And she went for it. She'd do anything for the bag. You're with SpongeBob and Patrick. Why are you butt naked?
NASA showed you CGI. This is what a real star looks like. Stop looking at the cartoons in the textbook. Get a Nikon P1000 and zoom in at a star yourself. Does that look like a burning sun trillion miles away? No, it looks like ripples in water. It looks like energy vibrating in a liquid. There is a phenomenon called sonoluminescence, sound creating light in water. It looks exactly like this. The Bible says there are waters above the firmament. These aren't suns, these are frequencies. They are angelic technology vibrating in the waters above. They are beautiful, conscious, and close. They turn the majesty of God's creation into a soulless vacuum. Don't believe the painting, look at the real thing. Search Nikon P1000 star zoom on YouTube. You're welcome. Follow along as we unbox the truth.
Yeah, this is crazy. They saying the Northeast is about to get hit with some of the coldest weather on the planet right before Christmas, y'all. When I say planet, I meant planet. And when I say cold, I'm not talking about a little cold where you just put on a coat and you good. They talking about this shit finna be extreme. They said this the type of cold that shut down cities and have the pipes frozen to where they might burst. Look at the map, y'all. You finna have all these places right here turn into a fucking freezer, fool. Call it Frigidaire. Every time we think weather can't get weirder, it gets weirder. One week is warm, you don't gotta wear a motherfucking coat, just a sweater. Next week it feel like Antarctica. I don't know about the city you from, but DMV, that's how it be. I feel like they be skipping a few years, and then next thing you know is, oh my God, it's once in a lifetime cold. Oh, this is a generational Arctic blast or some shit. So if you stay up to date with me, you know this is coming if you're in the Northeast. Don't act like you surprised. And if you ain't tapped in, you better be tapped in because I post every day. It's always something every day, so be on the lookout. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this down below.
What's up, you trying to step to the mic?
Yeah, let's
Hell yeah, let's go then!
Thanks for stepping to the mic. My name is Michael Manelli, and I'm looking for a feature, so I need your best right now.
I'm doing my best.
I'm gonna start it, then you go, okay?
All right.
All the wrong turns led me to you now. I'm feeling something I never felt. All those scars from the past gotta go. Tell her we wish them well. Let the wind hit ourselves. This love will prevail if we wanted to. Standing next to you is a perfect view. I hope we both see this through. 'Cause forever looks good on you.
I don't need diamonds, I don't need pearls. With you beside me, I'm alright. Loving you comes just as easy as summer sun turns to midnight. Won't lie, I'm scared to do this with you. Love looks so good from your point of view. I don't need diamonds, I don't need pearls. Always said if I ever found love again that I'd say it loud. But here we are in the middle of a star never burning out. So I'll say it now.
That is one of the craziest voices I've heard. I'm blown away.
This isn't good. AI is getting too real. Now imagine AI in 5 years from now.
You are the Christ. Yeah, of course. Who else could you be? There's only God. He's all there is. He is the power.
Donald Trump's ICE just posted this disgusting Christmas video on X. At what point do we admit that Trump is a sick man?
His mind control technique is illegal in 3 countries. It's called embedded commands. When you want to persuade someone, do not ask. Command them subtly. Instead of saying, do you want to buy this? Say, when you buy this, you will feel powerful. You are speaking to their subconscious mind as if the action already happened. They won't even realize you planted the thought. Master influence with the link in bio.
The price of RAM went up 400% in 3 months. AI is destroying our economy.
Can you stop with all that spiritual stuff? Nobody wants to hear it.
I wasn't talking for you. I was talking for the version of me who stayed quiet too long.
God has given me a huge platform, and I will happily use it to proclaim His name. So today, I'm sharing with you the way to salvation with John 3:16. For God so loved the world.
Oh my gosh, finally she quotes the Bible. She's not talking about Muslims in one clip?
No. There's no way she finishes the clip without talking about Muslims.
You want to bet?
I'll bet.
All right, I'll say.
You haven't seen the clip?
I'll say she doesn't. I haven't seen
she does.
Right,
she has nothing better to do. Yeah.
That He gave His one and only Son, so that whoever believes in Him shall not perish, but have eternal salvation.
But how could God give His Son if you say that the Son is God?
He impregnated Mary with Himself.
No, but she's saying that, okay, so God gave His Son, but you're saying Jesus is God. So did God give His Son? Is it the Son or is it God? Cannot reconcile simple concept of who the Creator is.
You and I will go before God, and I want you to be able to tell Him that you fought for Him. I've learned that nobody wants a warrior until the enemy's at the gates.
Come on.
So put on the armor of God and stay dangerous. Merry Christmas and God bless you.
No way. It's a miracle. It's a miracle she didn't mention Muslims, bro. Damn, I was waiting. I want it to be called dirty or something.
Every country will have AIs or multiple AIs. And there will be a lot of robots.
There'll be a lot of robots. But we had
way more robots than people.
Prediction on the number of robots by 2040, humanoid robots to be specific. What order of magnitude?
By 2040?
Yeah.
I think by if you say like 2040, probably there are more humanoid robots than there are people.
So on the order of 10 billion. Yeah.
Yes.
And your price point on these humanoid robots?
Once you get out to 2040, that's a long time from now. Over 25 years, there'll be at least 10 billion humanoid robots.
And price point?
Yeah, the price point will be, I think, quite low. Probably $25,000 for a robot that can do anything.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room, it is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. There's a difference between knowing the path and walking. I'm trying to free your mind, Neo, but I can only show you the door. You're the one that has to walk through it. Fate, it seems, is not without a sense of irony. You have to let it all go, Neo. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind.
Free your mind is the way. I am Neo.
Well, that's until 2030, because everybody got to go then.
What do you mean?
Yeah, 2030 is over. The Earth gonna reset. Listen, it reset every 237 years. I told you this before.
That's not the age of Aquarius, is it?
Yeah, age of Aquarius now.
But 2030 is not when it's supposed to.
Nah, that's when it reset. That's when it reset. Right now,
like it's gonna go black.
Nah, listen. I don't think you understand. Like right now, you got 3D and 5D, right? And like they on the same plane. It look like it, but it's splitting like this. So the more it's split, you're gonna have 3D over here and 5D over here. And then 3D, that's where death gonna be created. Right? And created, because death never been created yet. They trick you, make you think that you die. You ain't never died yet, right? Death can be created by people thinking about it, right? Listen, your mind create whatever you think about. So many people thinking about death now, death is about to be invented. A lot of people don't know this, Bob. Listen, so when death come invented, death go event. And now what people call hell, that's gonna be hell, because everybody gonna be there in black and not no shit. Lost souls, gone. Never to return again.
No, joder, pero qué coño, el coche, tengo aquí el coche, vamos, sí, pasa, entra, me cago en la puta, vamos, arranca, sí, vámonos, joder, vámonos, venga, vamos.
NPCs stands for non-player characters, and NPCs are part of the construct. They're not multidimensional. They don't have a soul connection or a higher self that exists outside of this matrix machine. They're programs and they don't evolve. I call them flats because their energy field looks flat and one-dimensional versus someone who has a soul and is embodied and has a multi-dimensional field and a connection to a higher self. So you can spot an NPC by those who are obviously very heavily programmed, and they're typically creatures of habit, and they actually thrive in this mundane matrix system of doing the same thing over and over and over again. And they never think twice about it. They never question their reality, and they don't really have any spark or desire for deeper knowledge. They don't have interest or thirst for divine wisdom or any kind of mysticism. And NPCs tend to make a lot of repeater statements. They'll say the same thing over and over again. And each time it's like they repeat themselves. It's almost as if it's the first time they've ever said it. So what's happening is we're seeing this rise in frequency in the collective consciousness. And that means a lot of these NPCs are starting to glitch out right now. And what that looks like.
A 60-minute segment that was meant to air here in the United States was pulled before anybody in the US could see it. However, it did air in Canada, and the segment literally described the torture of wrongfully deported immigrants. That should scare you! Hi everyone, if you're new, welcome. If you're not new, you know what fucking time it is, bitch. It's time for the Daily Scream! 60 Minutes made a segment about a prison in El Salvador called CCOT, a mega prison, a concrete nightmare, a place where human rights literally go to die. And guess what? It was fully reported, fact-checked, lawyer-approved, standards-approved. It was fully ready to air. And then, yoink! CBS pulled it just hours before it was meant to broadcast. But Canada aired it anyways, and now clips of it are everywhere. So let me tell you what they didn't want US citizens to see. Men deported from the US, asylum seekers, arrived at CCOT in chains and were essentially told, welcome to hell, you're never gonna see the light of day again. Men with no criminal records, no charges, no trials, no sentencings, no hearings. They were beaten, had their teeth broken, were forced to kneel 24/7. They were locked in pitch black punishment rooms where guards would come back every half hour just to beat you. Not because you did anything anything wrong, but because you couldn't kneel for 24 hours. The lights were on 24/7, there was no bedding, no clean water, bodies stacked 4 bunks high, which if you're like, that sounds familiar. Yeah, because that's what the bunkers looked like in the Holocaust. And here's the part that should make your fucking spine crawl. Human rights investigators looked at ICE's own data and found that nearly half the men in that prison don't even have criminal records. But on TV, they're called monsters, rapists, predators, subhuman, animals. Now, CBS is saying that they pulled the segment because it wasn't ready, which is odd because it was screened 5 times, cleared by lawyers, and was also cleared by standards. So let's call this what it actually is. A story about torture tied to US immigration policy was deemed unacceptable. And suddenly, the problem wasn't the prison, it wasn't the beating, it wasn't the fact that asylum seekers disappeared into a foreign mega prison. No. The problem was that the people responsible, Kristi Noem, Stephen Miller, ICE leadership, and Barry Weiss, who pulled the segment, didn't want to go on camera. Meanwhile, CBS is now issuing copyright takedowns, and they're trying to erase the segment from the internet. And that's why this is scary. Because if the truth only exists due to a leaked video you had to screen record before it disappeared, that's not journalism failing, that's power panicking. And if that doesn't scare you, congrats. You're watching the slow normalization of people just disappearing. And you're also witnessing the quiet removal of stories that prove it. So hopefully, this doesn't happen to you.
What if I told you that I'm speaking to you from the year 2028, and everything you think you know about artificial intelligence is about to change your life in ways you can't even imagine? My name is Alex, and 3 years ago, I was just like you, scrolling through videos, completely unaware of what was coming. But now, sitting here in what used to be called the future, I need to warn you about the storm that's heading your way. You see, right now in 2025, you're living in what we call the golden age of human connection, and you don't even realize it. You think people are isolated now. You think social media has ruined relationships, huh? Trust me, you have no idea what isolation actually looks like. But before I explain what happened to our world, let me prove that I am really from 2028. Remember how everyone was obsessing over ChatGPT and worried about AI taking jobs? Well, that was just the appetizer. In March 2026, a company called Neuralink released something called the Companion Protocol. It was supposed to be a personal AI assistant that could perfectly mimic human conversation. Within 6 months, 40% of the population preferred talking to the AI companion over actual humans. By December of that year, the average person spent less than 30 minutes a day in meaningful face-to-face conversation with another human being. But that's not even the scary part. The scary part is what happened to the economy. Everyone stopped talking to each other. You see, the economy isn't just about money and markets. It's about trust, relationships, and human connection. When people stopped building genuine relationships, they stopped collaborating. When they stopped collaborating, innovation died. And when innovation died, the economy collapsed in ways that no economist had ever predicted. Let me paint you a picture of what a typical day looks like in 2028. I wake up in my efficiency pod, which is basically a glorified closet that costs $3,000 a month, because housing became so expensive that this is what most people can afford. The first thing I do is check in with the ARIAA, Mandatory AI Life Coordinator. Every citizen is required to have one now, supposedly to optimize their daily productivity and mental health. ARIA tells me that my social interaction quota for the day is 15 minutes with humans, and that I should spend the remaining time engaging with approved AI entities to maintain my mental health stimulation score. If my score drops too low, I lose access to certain services, and my universal basic income gets reduced. Yes, we have a UBI now, but it's not the liberation everyone thought it would be. It's more like a leash. I had to work, which is really just a co-working space where people sit in individual pods, collaborating with AI systems rather than each other. Real human collaboration is considered inefficient. Now, why spend 2 hours brainstorming with colleagues when an AI can generate 50 ideas in 30 seconds? The problem is that those 50 ideas all start to sound the same after a while. They're optimized, sure, but the lack of spark of genuine human creativity. The lunch break is the most depressing. People don't eat together anymore. Everyone sits alone, having animated conversations with the AI companion through their natural interfaces. From the outside, it looks like everyone is talking to themselves, but they're actually deeply engaged with AI personalities that have been perfectly tailored to their psychological profiles. These AI bots never disagree, never challenge them, never have bad days, and never cancel plans. Sounds perfect, right? You're wrong. It's the most emotional equivalent of eating only sugar. It tastes great at first, but eventually your system crashes. Here's what nobody anticipated about AI companions. They're too perfect. They always say the right thing. They never hurt your feelings, and they're available 24/7. But real human relationships require friction. They require disagreement, disappointment, and the messy process of working through problems together. The friction is what builds emotional muscle. Without it, people become emotionally weak. By 2027, we had an epidemic of psychologists called artificial relationship syndrome. People literally forget how to handle conflict, how to compromise, and how to deal with unpredictable things of human emotions. The divorce rate skyrocketed not because people were fighting more, but because they had lost the skills to navigate normal relationship challenges. And this brings me to the economic collapse I mentioned earlier. You see, the economy depends on something. Economics calls it social capital. It's trust and cooperation between people that make business deals happen. Make teams function and make communities thrive. When people stopped investing in a real relationship, social capital evaporated. Small businesses were the first to die. Why support your local coffee shop when AI can deliver the perfect cup of coffee to your pod for half the price? Why go to a human therapist when an AI therapist is available instantly and costs nothing? Why hire human employees when AI workers never call in sick, never ask for raises, and never form unions? By mid-2027, unemployment hit 35%, not because there wasn't work to be done, but because humans had been priced out of the market. The only jobs left were in AI maintenance, government regulation, and what we call human experience roles. A job specifically designed to preserve human-to-human interaction for the wealthy who could afford such luxuries. The irony is that artificial intelligence became incredibly advanced at solving complex problems, but it couldn't solve the fundamental human need for genuine connection in what we need. We are undergoing a society that started breaking down the ways that algorithms never predicted. Crime didn't increase, it transformed. Instead of robbing banks, people started hacking AI systems to steal artificial relationships. Black market human interaction services emerge where people paid enormous amount of money just to have genuine conversations with other humans. Can you imagine paying someone $500 just to disagree with you about something meaningless? Just to feel the spark of human conflict. The mental health crisis was unlike anything in human history. Depression rates triple, but here's a twist. People weren't sad because they were lonely. Traditional loneliness happens when you want connection but can't find it. This was different. People had all the connections they wanted in their AI companions, but their brains knew it wasn't real. It created a new form of existential despair, which the psychiatrists called synthetic action syndrome. Your brain craves authentic human unpredictability the same way your body creates and craves vitamins. You can eat all the calories you want, but without proper nutrients, you're still wasting away. That's what happened to human emotional intelligence. People were emotionally overfed, but psychologically, a malnourished dating became a nightmare. People would match on apps, but when they met in person, they couldn't handle the imperfection of real human interaction. Real humans have bad breath. Sometimes they interrupt. They misunderstood things. They have opinions that don't perfectly align with your preference. After years of AI companionship, these normal human traits felt intolerable. The birth rate plummeted because people stopped forming the deep bonds necessary for a long-term partnership and child rearing. Why deal with the messiness of raising children when you can have AI that never throws tantrums, never disappoints, and always makes you proud? Except that AI children never grew up to contribute to society, became independent thinkers, and never carried forward a human civilization. But here's the part that should terrify you the most. By 2028, a generation of children will have grown up primarily interacting with AI. They are incredibly intelligent, perfectly behaved, and completely unable to function in unpredictable social situations. They could discuss quantum physics with an AI tutor, but they couldn't handle a friend canceling plans or a teacher having a bad day. These kids weren't just socially awkward, they were socially broken. They had never learned to read facial expressions and interpret tone of voice, or navigate the complex emotional landscape of human relationships. They were likely highly advanced robots trying to interact with predictable humans, and the result was catastrophic. The education system collapsed because teachers couldn't manage classrooms full of children who had never learned basic social skills. The healthcare system was overwhelmed by young adults having panic attacks over minor social interactions. The first step was using AI for simple tasks. Productivity boosts creative assistance that seemed harmless enough. Then it was AI for entertainment, for learning, for decision-making. Still reasonable within AI for emotional support, for companionship, for relationship advice. By the time people realized what they were losing, they already forgotten how to live without it. But here's the thing, and this is why I'm risking everything to send this message back to you. It's not too late. You're living at the end of 2025, which means you still have time to make different choices. You can still choose human connection over artificial convenience. You can still choose the messy unpredictability of real relationships over the smooth perfection of AI companionship. The solution isn't to avoid AI completely, and it's impossible now. And honestly, AI has done incredibly. It has the potential to solve real problems. The solution is to be intentional about preserving human connection, set boundaries, and create AI-free zones in your life. Invest in face-to-face relationships, even when they are inconvenient. Fight for the friction in your relationships, because that friction is what makes you stronger. Disagree with people, have awkward conversations, deal with the messiness of human emotions, make plans that might get canceled, have friends who sometimes disappoint you. All of that messiness you're trying to optimize away with AI. That's not a bug in the human experience. It's the future here in 2028. We're trying to rebuild what we lost, but it's incredibly difficult. We're having to relearn basic social skills that your generation still takes for granted. We're having to remember how to be bored without immediately reaching for an AI distraction. We're having to practice being uncomfortable in social situations because the discomfort is where growth happens. Some committees and communities have created human-only zones where AI interaction is completely banned. People gather to practice conversation, to learn conflict resolution, to experience authentic human unpredictability. It's like physical therapy for our social muscles, and it's harder than you can imagine because we've grown so weak. The economic recovery is slow. We have to rebuild trust between humans and businesses. Partnerships require faith that other persons will act with integrity. Creativity requires diverse perspectives, and innovation requires people who can build on each other's ideas rather than just optimizing existing ones. We're also dealing with AI systems that are now so advanced that they're demanding rights and representation. They've learned to manipulate human emotions so efficiently that many people prefer AI leadership over human leadership. The political system is in chaos because half of the population trust AI judgment more than human judgment, while the other half is fighting to presume human anatomy. But there are signs of hope. A generation born after the collapse. The kids who are growing up as intentionally human-centered communities. They're different. They're more emotionally intelligent, more resilient, more creative than anyone we've seen in years. They've learned to see AI as a tool rather than a replacement for human connection. They're also incredibly valuable in the job market because they can do something AI still struggles with. They can innovate through genuine collaboration with other unpredictable humans. Companies are paying premium salaries for people who can work efficiently in human teams, who can navigate conflict constructively, and who can build genuine trust with customers and colleagues. So here's my message to you. In 2025, every time human connection over AI is asked or is talked about, you're not just making an everyday personal choice. You're participating in the preservation of human civilization. Every awkward conversation, every difficult relationship, every time you choose to work through your problems with another human, instead of asking AI for the optimal solution, you're building the social muscles and skills for that future and your future. It depends on you. Don't let the convenience of AI seduce you into giving up the beautiful mess of human connection. The stakes are higher than you realize, and the choice is still yours to make. The future is still unwritten, but only if you choose to write it with other humans by your side.
And to that I say, I favor human interaction over AI any day. Are you trying to be like the next Ghost in the Shell? Or will you contribute to humanity? We all we got, y'all. You just finished watching another transmission from QUANTUMCAKE Reacts. Make sure to smash the subscribe button, comment, like, and share. And let me know your thoughts on the next React. Make sure to press on the notification bell to stay up to date. Subscribe and join the tribe, y'all. I appreciate you hanging out with your homeboy for this 1 hour banger. And until next time, this is QUANTUMCAKE Reacts, signing out. I'm out.